Professional mixed martial artists are well trained in all aspects of self-defense and warfare, which makes it all the more remarkable that some of these guys can master certain techniques and apply them effectively against world-class competition. A trademark move is one that they have successfully used several times, allowing them to associate the move with that individual fighter and vice versa. For the sake of this video, using a move once, even if iconic, does not make it a signature move. So, in my list of the top 10 signature moves in mixed martial arts history, I'll only include moves that an MMA fighter has utilized often and effectively. But before we get into this list, please like and subscribe to Combat Giant, and try to stick with me to the end because this list is packed with the most remarkable and exciting signature moves ever employed in the history of mixed martial arts. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the one who has practiced one kick 10,000 times, Bruce Lee once said. This means that someone who has such a thorough mastery of a technique should be feared. It's one thing to make a technique work, but to be expected to use it and yet succeed is another level of mastery. So, let's begin. Luke Rockhold's left roundhouse kick is number 10. Luke Rockhold is a professional mixed martial artist from the United States. Rockhold is presently a member of the Ultimate Fighting Championship's light heavyweight division where he competes. He was a former UFC middleweight champion and competed at middleweight in the past. Whether you like him or not, Luke Rockhold can make any fight exciting. Any Rockhold match has revolved around his incredible grappling ability and excellent strikes. Luke has compelled fighters to abandon their game plans to battle in his style. Many fighters would avoid engaging in boxing range because of his accurate left hook, but his grappling talents deterred many from attempting to wrestle or submit him. Although he's not a slouch anywhere, Luke's finest weapon is his left leg, which he learned to use at the kickboxing range. Rockhold would switch from the leg to the body to the head to keep combatants at the end of his kicks, making it difficult to become comfortable with any defense. The left leg assaults appear to be far more damaging than any of the other strikes he used in his fights. John Jones's spinning elbow is number 9. Jonathan Dwight Jones is an American professional mixed martial artist who has competed in the light heavyweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. No one does it better than Jones when it comes to diversifying his attack. Jones is tough to read since he blends takedowns and strikes so efficiently. In addition to the variety, long arms are a weapon that is regularly used. John's reach is 84.5 inches, and he uses his long arms frequently. John added additional personality to this move by being able to throw elbow strikes from his opponent's punching range. John would often sneak into his spinning elbow assault by pretending a takedown attempt, demonstrating his ability to integrate striking and grappling. Jones has a good track record with this move. In the light heavyweight class, he holds numerous UFC records, including the most title defenses, wins, longest win streak, and submission victories. Jones was widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world for much of his title reign. Chael Sonnen's double leg takedown is number 8. Chael Patrick Sonnen is a retired mixed martial artist and a promoter of submission grappling in the United States. Sonnen began his MMA career in 1997 with the UFC, where he rose through the ranks to become a top contender in the light heavyweight and middleweight categories, challenging for the UFC light heavyweight and UFC middleweight titles. The former UFC middleweight challenger had no mysteries when it came to what he planned to do to his opponents. Put your chin down and go for a takedown. In the majority of his fights, Chael Sonnen has taken this technique. Sonnen was always eager to start a confrontation with a wrestling match. It's easy to understand why, because he's natural at it. Chael made a name for himself by being truthful in his attacks. The double leg was a common occurrence for him, and it served him well in his fights. Chael was a master of double leg takedowns in the UFC, Bellator, and even while wearing flip-flops in Brazil. The Von Flue choke by Ovince St. Preux is number 7. Ovince St. Preux is a professional mixed martial artist from Haiti who competes in the UFC's light heavyweight division. OSP has been a professional fighter since 2008, having previously battled for Strikeforce, the XFC, and Shark Fights. He is recognized for his unconventional fighting style and has garnered attention for winning 4 fights with the uncommon Von Flue choke submission, which has been dubbed the Von Preux choke by fans. Von Flue, perhaps? Von Preux, you suggest? At this moment, either name works because OVS has made this choking submission his own. St. Preux has mastered the deceptive choke, which he's used in 4 UFC victories. The guillotine choke is countered with this maneuver. Ovince, on the other hand, has perfected this method to the point of putting himself through the guillotine choke to complete the task. Opponents realized this was a very dangerous component of St. Preux's game after he hit it several times. Regardless, OSP's Von Flue choke became a common battle finisher. Uriah Faber's guillotine choke is number 6. Uriah Christopher Faber is a mixed martial artist and actor from the United States. He is a member of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He used to fight as a featherweight and then as a bantamweight. He's the creator of Team Alpha Male as well. Faber competed in NCAA wrestling and also studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu after wrestling and rapidly achieved a brown belt under Fabio Pateta Prado. Uriah Faber has mastered the guillotine to the point where his entire team admires him for it. Uriah has an extraterrestrial squeeze. Faber would win around half of his fights through submission, with the guillotine being his most famous weapon. Uriah was a nightmare on the mat and excelled in scrambles. Faber's guillotines were frequently sunk in from unusual angles or after he had caused harm with his hands. This Faber guillotine, which was far simpler to anticipate than defend, helped establish a fan base for the smaller weight classes. Jose Aldo's leg kick is ranked 5th. Jose Aldo de Silva Oliveira Jr., also known as Jose Aldo, is a professional mixed martial artist from Brazil. He currently fights in the bantamweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He also fought at featherweight, winning the WEC Featherweight Championship for the 4th and final time. Following the UFC-WEC merger, he became the first UFC featherweight champion. Jose Aldo has one of the most terrifying low kicks in UFC history. As a counter, Aldo would frequently use his speed and response time to land these kicks, another scenario in which the opposing fighter is aware of what is about to happen, but is powerless to stop it. Throughout his career, Aldo made no secret of the fact that he'd run his shin into some legs. Jose's leg kicks have proven to be one of his most efficient moves, as evidenced by some of his best performances. The 4th is Ronda Rousey's armbar. Ronda Jean Rousey is a professional wrestler, actress, and former judoka who now competes in mixed martial arts. When 9 out of 12 professional victories are won using a specific strategy, it's a safe bet to make. Ronda Rousey is an Olympic judo medalist, so her grappling isn't to be taken lightly. Rousey's MMA career was predicated on her ability to use her judo to find the armbar and appear to be somewhere else, as she finished all but one armbar in the opening round. Although opponents were aware that Ronda's specialty was the armbar, it was practically unavoidable. Her triumphs were more diverse as she became better rounded near the end of her incredible career. Her armbar, on the other hand, will go down as one of the best in the MMA world. Conor McGregor's left hand is number 3. Conor Anthony McGregor is a mixed martial artist from Ireland. He is a former featherweight and lightweight champion of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He's also a former featherweight and lightweight champion of the Cage Warriors. Conor McGregor's left hand possesses all of the necessary characteristics to end a fight. Many opponents have been knocked out by the force and speed of this punch. Conor's high-level boxing and counter-striking have made many people wary of engaging on the ground. While the speed and power were present, opponents instantly praised McGregor's timing and perfection following the fight. Conor McGregor has won 86% of his fights via strikes. That has a lot to do with the left hand. Dan Henderson's H-bomb is number 2. Daniel Jeffrey Henderson is a retired mixed martial artist and Olympic wrestler from the United States, who last competed in the Ultimate Fighting Championship as a middleweight. He was the final Strikeforce light heavyweight champion, as well as the last Pride Fighting Championships welterweight and middleweight champion. Dan Henderson is one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. Henderson had a long and illustrious career that saw him win numerous awards. Dan was also a ferocious attacker and a seasoned wrestler, so he had it all in terms of threats. His right hand was the most noticeable attack. The H-bomb is a nuclear weapon. Dan has a condition known as the touch of death. The lights will go out when he lands. When fans see Dan fight, they don't blink, because his right hand can and has ended battles abruptly. This strike is usually set up by an inside low kick. Henderson would move all of his weight while using his fist like a pendulum, using the kick as a penetrative step. This right hand is one of the most devastating weapons in the history of mixed martial arts. Finally, Mirko Krokop Filipovic's left leg is ranked number 1. Mirko Filipovic, also known as Mirko Krokop, is a retired Croatian mixed martial artist, kickboxer, and amateur boxer. He's best known for his stint as a member of the Pride Fighting Championships. Mirko Krokop left his impression on the sport, to put it mildly. Krokop has one of the most terrifying roundhouse kicks in the history of mixed martial arts. Mirko is a staple of both the organization and the fighting culture in Japan, having spent most of his heyday in Pride FC. This demonstrates how well-liked he and his kicks are. Right leg hospital, left leg cemetery is a terrifyingly accurate aphorism associated with Mirko. No matter where his left leg was positioned, it would cause harm. Krokop's left roundhouse is undoubtedly the most feared tool in MMA history, splitting heads open or leaving a visible outline of his foot on the torso. Thank you for watching to the end. If you found this video interesting, kindly like and subscribe to this channel for more incredible videos like this. If other MMA signature moves interest you and are not mentioned here, let us know in the comments. Thank you.